Hi, Integrated Math 1. Welcome to lesson 4.2.3b. We're doing day 2 of our conditional relative frequency distribution. Now, if you recall, we said instead of doing a relative frequency distribution of all of our variables of everything, that we could just do it by single variables, right? So to kind of get us back into the groove, we did our percentages instead of out of all of the students, we did just the percent of the bio students and just the percent of chemistry students and just the percent of physics students, right? So out of 20, out of 30, out of 50, which shifted our percentages around quite a bit. So we made this table. We are going to be using it today, and so you may have to flip back and forth a little bit over to the page where you have this table. But we're going to answer a bunch of questions here. So page M4-89 in your book. Now that we've created this table, we did such a lovely job of it. I believe we already answered question 4, where we said 30% of the bio students had an A, 30% had a B, 25% had a C, 5% had a D, and 10% had an F. And we did that for chemistry, and we did that again for physics. Let's dig a little deeper. Question number 5, I would like you to use the conditional relative frequency distribution to answer each question. So I have a whole bunch of these questions here, A, B, C on down. They're on page 89. Go ahead, hit pause to answer these questions, then hit play when you're ready to check your work. So I hope you worked that out. These aren't too terrible. What percent of biology students are passing? I'm going to have my calculator handy here because it looks like I've got 30% plus another 30% plus 25% that are passing the class. Wow. So 85% of the students are passing in biology. That's pretty good. B, what percent of the chemistry students are passing? So I'm going to add up my A's, B's, and C's. So 13.3% plus 26.7% plus 40% means I've got 80% of the students passing chemistry. Yay. And last but not least for physics, what have I got? 13.3 plus 33.3 plus 40 means that I've got, in physics at least, I've got 86.6% of the students are passing in physics. Oh, wow, so that's not too bad. Doing pretty good, doing pretty good. D, now that we've done this, which science class is doing the best according to their grades? And you know what? I'm going to come back here. We said 86.6% in physics, 80% in chemistry, and 85% in biology. Guys, I'm going with physics. The physics class is doing the best because they have the highest percent of students passing. That's right, at 86.6%. Their percent is higher than everybody else's. So question E, how does this compare to the statement Campbell made? Well, Campbell claims that Mr. Lewis's chemistry class is the smartest class because it has the greatest percent of students passing. But we notice when we just look at biology, just look at chemistry, just look at physics, that physics actually has the highest percent of students passing. So this is different from Campbell's statement. Campbell thought that the chemistry class was doing better because it had more students passing, right? Just sheer numbers. However, the physics class is really doing better because it has a greater percent of students passing it. All right. Can you use your table to answer question number 6? Which science class has the greatest percent of students failing? Hit pause. You may want a calculator. Help you work it out. Hit pause to work this out. Hit play when you're ready to check your work. So first of all, I need to figure out the percent of students that are failing. So I'm going to add up my D's and F's here. So for biology, I've got 5% plus 10%. I've got, hang on, I'll grab my pen. Looks like I've got 15% that are failing. For chemistry, I've got 13.3% plus 6.7%. So it looks like we got 20% of students that are failing. For physics, I've got 6.7% plus 6.7%, which is 13.4% of students failing. So yeah, it looks like chemistry. Chemistry class is the greatest percent of students failing. We got 20% of them failing in chemistry. Yikes. It happens. You know what? This is great. We compared biology students to biology students. We compared chemistry students to chemistry students, physics students to physics students. But let's look at these data a different way. So we just focused on the science class variable, right? Did you know you can construct a different conditional relative frequency distribution? Instead of doing it by science classes, let's do it by grades, right? Right? So again, I have the original relative frequency table up over here, the original frequency table over here. I would like you to determine the relative frequency for each class given the particular grade. So I would like you to use the numbers for grades now. Hit pause. Might want to observe those denominators. Hit pause. Fill in the rest of your table. And then hit play when you're ready to check your work. So we're changing it up. So now I'm using these totals. Okay, so that means my A's will be out of 12, my B's will be out of 19, my C's will be out of 23, my D's will be out of 6, and my F's will be out of 5. So that means I need to take each of these numbers in the A column and divide by 12. So 6 over 12, 4 over 12, 2 over 12, and then of course 12 out of 12. For my B's, all of these are going to be out of 19. So 6 out of 19, 8 out of 19, 5 out of 19, and of course, we know that's going to be 19 out of 19. The C's are going to be out of 23. So 5 out of 23, 12 out of 23. We already did 6 out of 23, and of course, we have 23 out of 23. And the D's are all going to be out of 6. So 1 out of 6. Oh dear, sorry about that. 4 out of 6 and 1 out of 6. And of course, 6 out of 6. And for my F's, these are all going to be out of 5 because that's my total. So 2 out of 5. Already did 2 out of 5 there, and 1 out of 5 and 5 out of 5. You are going to want to use your calculator. It will be most helpful. So 4 out of 12 is 33%. So divide and multiply by 100. 2 out of 12 is 16.7%. And we already knew that this was going to be 100% on the bottom because it's the total. In fact, these are all going to be 100% on the bottom, aren't they? All those are going to be 100%. They're the totals. So 6 out of 12. Wow, that's easy. Oh, 6 out of 19. Just kidding. 6 out of 19. That's about 31.6%. 8 out of 19 is about 42.1%. And of course, 5 out of 19 is about 26.3%. We'll do our C's, 5 out of 23, except I can't write 5 out of 23, I'm having trouble typing, is about 21.7%. 12 out of 23, oh, that's a lot. That's like 52.2%. We already did those. 1 out of 6 is about 16.7%. 4 out of 6 is about 66.7%. And we already did this one. It was 16.7%. Last but not least, these guys here. Oh, 2/5. We already did that. 2/5 is 40%. That's easy. And 1/5 is only 20%. Cool. This is a little messy. I hope yours is a little neater and a little nicer. So I'm going to bring up the nice one. This is the one from the book. It's all nice and typed and easier to read. So, question number 8 on page 90. Campbell claims that 80% of the students who received a grade of F were in biology and chemistry. Is Campbell's statement correct? Make sure you tell me why. Hit pause. Write down your thoughts. Hit play when you're ready to check your work. All right, so 80% of the students who received a grade of F were in biology and chemistry. Well, if I add those together, right, 40% plus 40%, yeah, that's 80%. Oh, okay. So I'm going to say that Campbell is correct. 40% of the students who received a grade of F were in biology and 40% were in chemistry. So yeah, a total of 80% of the students who received a grade of F were in those two classes. Pardon me. One more little question here, last one. Number 9. Does there appear to be an association between the science class and the grades of Mr. Lewis's science students? Make sure you justify your answer either way. If there is an association or even if there isn't, tell me why. Hit pause, jot down your thoughts, hit play when you want to keep the discussion going. So I'm looking at my numbers. I mean, 50% have A's, that's pretty high. And then it kind of tapers down from there. Oh, right. I'm going to try this again. I'm just going to check across here. 50, 33, 16.7, 31, 42, 26, 21, 52, 26, 16, 66, 16, 40, 40, 20. I don't really see a pattern. So there doesn't really appear to be an association between the science class and the grades, right? Just because you're taking biology doesn't mean you're going to get an A, and it doesn't mean you're going to get an F. It's kind of sitting in between there. So I don't really see any particular association. As always, I hope you found this helpful. I hope you found this useful. If you have questions or concerns, come talk to me, and I'll see you soon. Bye.